back to Big Campaign Stories. I am Jeff, your humble narrator, and we have the full crew today. But before we get started, let's get them lightsaber checks. John.
This is John playing as Lucius, and I got a 17. Sean, you go.
Hey, this is Sean. I play fours, and I got a 12. Mav.
Hey, this is Mav. I play Dosh, and I rolled a 3. Jesse.
Hey everybody, this is Jesse. I play as Oswald, and I got an 18. Go ahead, Marshall.
Hey, this is Marshall. I play as Keegan, and I got a 13.
Excellent. So, Mav, let's get that recap.
All right. So, I think we started out. Matilda came and hung out with us for a bit. We showed her the house. I remember I signed a contract on behalf of Mon that it was rightfully, legally able to buy it, but I signed it under Barry's name, so that won't come to bite us in the ass later. What else did we do? We made some food for the homeless people, the struggling people around, I mean. And then we were going to interrogate, was it Raymond or his name?
Randall,
yeah. I don't think we ever did we question him?
I don't believe so. I believe you set him free into the wild.
Yep. He's
Like
a free Randall now.
Like a little bird in the wilderness.
He's a cruelty-free dirtbag now.
And then we all jumped into every car we owned, and all decided to parade our way down to the city center to meet up with the king of the Arferi district, where we had a discussion about how the city should be run, and I think we come to a conclusion that we'd help him get back some stolen swords in Farthen, and I don't remember what we got out of that.
Support.
Okay. Well, that's all I got.
Perfect. We begin at the home, or the ex-home, of Randall Umberson. Matilda will, unless you have a reason for her to stick around, will say that she is going to head back into the city to start getting paperwork finalized, and she and Lord will be leaving shortly.
Yeah, I'll go in for a hug goodbye.
Yeah, she'll give you a hug, Lucius. She'll head out, and I will say she'll send her crew up to this address to assist.
Well, guys, what's the plan?
And were Matilda's boys coming with us to Farthen?
Farthen.
Yeah, once they get there.
Okay. Did we have one more task we were supposed to do in this area?
Yeah.
Talk with weapons manufacturers, or secure weapons manufacturing contacts or something.
Which maybe the king of Arferi is going to be that guy, because it sounds like he wants to start up a factory to build weapons.
Right, he's going to partner with Matilda.
Oh yeah, they signed the contract. We all got EIS'd into.
Yeah. Yeah, Matilda and the king of the Arferi signed a contract, and we got oathed into supporting it.
It's for the good of the people.
And the Estables.
Also, you had them put the mark on your robot hand, so you can just take it off and renege on your deal.
I got 4 of them, so if I lose one, it'll probably be okay.
Was it Del Rose?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good place to start. The Del Rose estate, or what's left of it.
We could also just kind of do general research on the weapons themselves, just to know more about them and like what they're for and why they are important, other than just being like ancestral weapons.
Oh, what do you have on behind you, Jesse?
Rain.
Oh, okay. Can't stop that.
I can close the door. It'll help a lot. But yeah, I don't know how that kind of sale happens. Like, I'm not part of that world, so I don't know where we would look to find information about who would have sold it and who would have bought it.
Sounds like we pawn that off on Gore and we all go play skee ball.
I mean, we'll have to turn on the power plant to get some juice to the skee ball place.
The red bandanas don't usually work in Farthen, do they? They don't really have a presence here, other than when I call them in.
In Farthen?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Arferi. In Arferi.
Yeah, I mean, they do anything in kind of this whole area, the city.
I can ask through those channels to see what they know. They're a little bit more underground than some people, but...
You can also look into just like who is wealthy and notable in Farthen. Like who's in the at the Del Rose kind of level of society in Farthen?
Man, there's probably some guy running around right now who knows all that stuff.
I mean, there was that guy at the Del Rose party.
Randall?
No. Levis Lyra,
That's
who
the
attended-
rumor monger.
Yeah, the rumor monger, especially among the rich, who was at the Del Rose party. So
Well, he sounds like a good guy to get information from.
yeah, but I have no idea where to find Levis Lyra. I guess we could just look them up and see if there's publicly available contact information for them.
We have contacts.
There's also the socialite. There's a duelist, and then a couple other people who have names, but I don't know what they were.
Was it Levis Lyra? Are they famous enough that maybe I could roll a check to see where they're from?
Sure.
Just pull out this character sheet. Roll 20, you are lagging. Please?
Whatever happened to Estelle herself? I haven't heard anything. I know the manor burned down, but
Sounds like another roll.
It would not be hard to find online that her estate burned down, but no one has seen her since. She's assumed to be dead in the fire.
This sounds like a good one for knowledge local. I got a total of 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as where they normally reside is Golden City.
Yeah, I think a lot of those people came from out of town to go to that party. We'd bother the king and see if he has any more leads.
I feel like that would have come up in conversation while we were there, though.
I'm just gonna start checking out the constant, just doing any kind of news searches about the Arferi house weapons or about the swords.
Sure. Give me a research check or computer use.
Total of 20 on computer use.
Checking news sources about the area, looking for the Arferi house weapons. You will eventually find a picture of a kind of darker skinned, older looking gentleman, as well as a fairly fancy looking Dosh model with a kind of starscape kind of painted chassis, and with a very fancy scarf that seems to be playing a music video, kind of being projected across the screen of it. Looks like he's handing that over for the birthday party of Vancilian Luche Crow, 63 years old, the head, or one of the top two chairs, the Dalam Crow Company.
I will, of course, share that information with the whole group.
So the scarf is like a flexible display.
Yes,
So the Dosh model was giving this to the Dalam Crow guy.
correct.
You guys know the Crows?
We've crossed paths with one of them. Probably say that we're not on best terms with the rest of the family. I would say that we ran him off the road and killed him.
Oh no.
Okay, so
Toblerone Crow.
okay, so going after them is not going to burn any bridges we already have set up.
How long ago was that news story?
About 6 days ago.
Oh, recent. Okay.
Good searching.
I think we had Jasper looking into stuff. I think she was gonna post on the forums.
Jasper.
Jasper.
I don't recall you guys asking her to do that. She was before looking into the Arferi translations of the Living Steel tablet.
That's probably what that was. Okay,
Yeah, I think she was also looking into the possibility of where the other ones might be.
I'll leave her to that. I'm not gonna overload her.
Well, it might be an idea if there's a library intact around here to go there. But is there a library or anything like that, Jeff?
Yeah, asking around, there's a library you could have access to.
I guess I'm kind of imagining us not having a bunch of people to really ask. But
Yeah, we're in a district we're not familiar with, and it's kind of civil.
in a gated area.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff going on around us.
There are people that are still showing up because Dosh was making food.
Locals are coming to us.
There's a city aside of people that are living their lives and doing jobs, and they are outside of this man's private property. I guess there's more online research or other questions you guys want to do. You can go to the library.
Randall also have a shit ton of books in his house.
He does not.
Oh, I thought I had a bunch of unopened, unread books.
If there's a collector's value to him, yes.
Ah, right. Signed first edition of Moby Dick, not an encyclopedia of house weapons.
I guess my thought was like Jesse was saying, maybe trying to understand what these weapons do, or if they have a history or anything like that. But
I mean, Forz would remember seeing these weapons when he went to see Jamak in theaters.
Yeah, but those were the screen use props.
How sure are you?
Not sure. So the article of them getting gifted the swords was from 6 days ago.
Mhm.
6 days isn't probably a long enough time potentially for it, but I was thinking of looking up stuff for like press releases or something from Delam Crow as a corporation, and see if I could see if he keeps them in the office or.
Are they in the background?
Yeah, maybe they're in the background of some shots that have been uploaded, but I'll do a little snooping. Maybe they say in the article what he's.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the article goes, it explains that, pictured above is Vancilian Crow at his 63rd birthday party at Farthen during the summer festival, currently being gifted an ancient Rethi relic by Sprite, the casino lord from Golden and head of the Dream Realm Casino.
The Dream Realm Casino?
Yeah, Keegan's dad's favorite casino.
Yep.
Was Sprite the preferred one that they wanted us to kidnap?
No, that was
No, Sprite was the one who has got your dad hostage. Yeah.
It's Jalari Vast.
Yeah.
Jalari Vast.
But yeah, if you're wanting to dig deeper in it, Forrest,
Sure, I'll do a little bit of digging. 29 on my computer to use.
29 would be more than enough for you to find out that Vancilian is a collector of relics, preferably of the magic variety. In Farthen, he does have his own private museum that's limited to invites and family members only.
All right. Is that like a part of his estate, or is it in a different location? All right. Cool. All right. I will start looking up what the schedule of this thing is like if any events are announced,
Now we can get an invite.
or sneak in with someone who is.
Or you could just be someone who is, couldn't you?
Yeah, that's also true. That's also true.
I'll be poking around the people outside while I feed and talk with them. I'm going to kind of probe and see if I can get any information from them. I want to see if they've ever seen that specific Dosh model. Like, have you ever seen a guy like me just...
Yeah, I mean, as far as people here in their ferry on the street, no, most of them wouldn't recognize Sprite. Going to give me a gather info.
21. And then I'll also ask, like, any notable, like, rich or famous people just in the city, kind of like people that we should be aware of.
Besides the king, I guess you'd ask for like famous people, and they would tell you like gang leaders in the area, like people that are important to them. But
Yeah. But, like, before all this happened, right? Like, there was...
yeah, I mean, Estelle Del Rose was the famous movie setter. Randall here ran this like family orchard. Like, there are wealthy people that were here or still are here in their own estates.
I'm just kind of getting the idea that that's kind of a dead end, not push that too far.
The wealthy socialites that had parties here were really like Del Rose.
Okay.
Summer festival's still happening in Farthen?
It is.
So maybe the Del Rose estate might be, looted and burnt down and all of that in this current environment. But a document like who it was sold to or given to or something like that, that wouldn't be very valuable to just anybody. Maybe it would be worth our time to go investigate what's left of the estate.
Yeah,
And heck, we're good at finding secret things. Well, you are.
I think it's worth our time.
Do we know when the bold construction's going to be showing up?
They were worried about security.
Yeah, the bots.
Yeah, but I think that we were worried about just anybody coming in trying to lay claim to the place or something.
Well, you've got an agreement with the Arferi king.
Mm-hmm.
I think
and
we're
you've
good.
got a collection of automatons. Unless you're going to babysit them forever, I think.
Yeah,
Also, we can come back in here and clear it out if we need to.
There an actual tie between Estelle Del Rose and the Arferi weapons that we're aware of? Like, I'm not tracking on one.
It's just rich and purchase them.
Yeah, I mean, she's in the right social circle to maybe, like, have the right contacts to maybe know something about that, but I'm not sure why we think there'd be anything in the ruins of her house that would be relevant to getting these swords. I mean, we can go look. Fancy rich folk have secrets. I'm sure we'll find something cool in that house.
right. Like it, and yeah, it sounds unlikely that there would be like a receipt or something, some
Yeah.
fucking gun there, right? But
Well, I think the reason is she had the swords, right, at one point?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's why we're like, maybe.
Did she?
Are we misunderstood, Jeff?
Nope, she had the swords, traded them off to a collector or another person that took it out of here. So, from what you would probably guess, then I guess that Sprite probably purchased them to give them as a gift, and so got them from her. Or at some point, Delrose had it, and next point, Sprite has it. So, whether it changed hands between then,
Kind of irrelevant, really.
yeah.
We know where they are now. That's the
Yeah.
important thing.
We're going after a pair of swords. That's what we're after.
Yep, a single pair, 2 swords.
There we go. Oh, I thought they were sold off to 2 different people, and there's more to this. No.
Okay.
You said Vancilian Crow is known to be a collector of this kind of stuff, and he maintains it. Was it a museum or some kind of like private collection that like occasionally some select folks get to go see it, but it's only by like personal invites and family members?
Private museum. Invite only, it says. Maybe he hosts events there with some larger or wider audiences, but I don't know that yet.
So it's like his museum vault thing where he keeps all his cool stuff and invites people to look at it and show off.
Do we think this is like a you've got to get in a one-of invitation kind of deal, or do we think this is more like a he has planned events that he hands out invitations for kind of deal?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, you're the one who found the information.
I think it's like, hey, I feel like showing off. Let's have an event and get some people in here. And he picks
that's the possibility that
Yeah.
I was looking into, but are you asking me what I hope I find? I don't know how hard it is to be invited or to have access to this thing.
Well, the festival's going on. I imagine that would be a good time for him to do that. Can we look to see if he's going to have an opening during the festival?
If he's announced.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. If he's having special invite-only parties to look at all of his stuff, he would also be the kind of guy to say, hey, guess what? I'm having a party and none of you can come except these guys.
Yeah.
Following with your 29 from before, fours, looking it up, he does not have any planned invites to it, though it seems to be something he's planning on doing, but he has not had abjurationists come in and make sure that they are safeguarded yet.
That's probably when we need to come in, is before the aberrationists get there.
Or as.
Oh, yeah, we could be the aberrationists. Is Jake Storm an aberration caster or whatever his name?
Pallets, all right.
Are you able to find anything about his museum? Like if there's blueprints we could access? I mean, it wouldn't be like easy to access, but they might have a record somewhere of who built it for him. We can have an idea of what we're going into.
Or he might have like a virtual tour on his personal website or whatever. Showing off his cool shit that you don't get to go touch.
I like to imagine we're all sitting around Fours who's on the couch with the laptop. We're all like pointing at the screen like, Google this now!
Look at this thing!
Click that link! Like 8 people yelling at him.
The virtual walkthrough. Load that. Go back. Go down.
See if there's blueprints.
We're also in we're not inside. We're in lawn chairs, so we can constantly be shouting over the gates at people. What do you guys think about this?
Sounds like a good plan, duh.
Got any more beans?
All right. Well, do you guys know any abjuration spells?
No.
If we were to pose as abjurationists, is that something that we can pull off?
I would need to check my spell list. I don't normally record what school my spells are from.
I have no idea what abjuration magic is, so...
I'm going to start seeing what I can come up with, having no frame of reference or entry into that. Just like, what would I have to go through if I wanted to hire an abjurationist? And I'll start looking around, see
How do I get certified as aberrationist? What are the requirements?
Well, I have
Google
no
spec.
idea what that market looks like.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess it's a lot of security stuff, but magic.
Yeah.
5 years of magic trade school.
I could also reach out to the Red Bandana work in Farthen at all, where this is happening.
They have obviously like members there,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of like rich assholes up there, but
Yeah.
That's where the Lam Crow headquarters
it
are,
is.
right?
Correct.
Yeah. So I think, any corporate headquarters is going to have Red Bandana personnel nearby.
Yeah, probably. That makes a lot of sense.
There's a handful of vineyards up there too, right?
There are, yeah.
Oh, Josh is excited about that.
I pay attention.
This is where the Amon gets their wine for their freaking baskets they send.
Oh, this is war wine.
As far as looking up that kind of information, yeah, Abjurationist is a school of wizards that train specifically in defensive magics, protective spells, and things of that nature. There are companies that you can hire for, whether it's just for like brief adventuring or for exploring like ruins and whatnot. As far as for like something more permanent like this, definitely can be done. There's higher end services coming from like the Farron Towers on Basia. So like professional magical assistance.
Okay. Is there a prestigious or name recognized brand of abjuration services? That can be a yes or no. You don't have to come up with any names or anything.
There would be high-end abjuration services that can be purchased for kind of like a top-end one from the Basean area. You'd probably be looking at what is it? We'll call it Leyline Securities.
All right.
I don't think I have any abjuration spells known, but there's plenty of abjuration spells on my spell list, so we could maybe try and fake it with some scrolls, but then we'd have to buy some scrolls, and if it comes down to like actually using the scrolls, I'm only going to be okay at it, because that's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's not. It's been so long since I've actually tried to use a scroll when it's not like... when it's like a... when it's actually on your list and the conditions are favorable, like, if they're supposed to be easy, that's the whole point of them.
Is there like an HCOM app that's like scrolls with a Z and it like loads up all your all your scrolls? You don't actually have to have like
Right. I thought scrolls were easy for wizards, but not so much for everybody else.
They're easy for the person whose spell it's already on their list.
Wizards.
I mean, you can be a cleric and make scrolls if you'd like, but you make scrolls of cleric spells and you can cast them from that spell.
Yeah. So, yeah, if we got our hands on some abjuration spell scrolls,
I mean,
that is...
Do
how much
even need the
abjuration
spells?
magic? Yeah, do we even need to cast? We just have to pretend that we do. Like, we
don't
don't
know.
really need to go in and cast them right away.
How in-depth does our con need to be?
I'm just getting in the building, right? Be a smash grab if we have to.
I mean, I feel like our standard play here is to, like, have a distraction somewhere and then come in while whatever security forces are on site are distracted. That's what we
Yes.
did in the Del Rose estate mission.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a good one.
we planned two heists at the same time. One to get caught, one not to. While they're working while they're focused on the guys getting caught, the other guys get in and get out.
This Estable's 11.
Style. The distraction is actually not just a distraction, it's also a way for us to get to skim some stuff off the top.
Right. And if they think somebody's breaking in here, why would they think somebody else is breaking in at the same time?
Brilliant.
But then, psych, the team that wasn't supposed to get caught gets caught, and the team that was supposed to get caught is the one that finishes the job.
That feels about right too.
Okay, so feels like we've got the beginnings of a plan. We take advantage of his desire to get abjurationists into the vault. Some portion of us pass ourselves off as abjurationists just to get initial access,
I think I'll pass.
I think you're a good abjurationist.
Thank you.
and then we don't have a good sense of the layout of this place, or like if there's a distraction in one location, how easy it will be for the actual requisitionists to enter in some other location. We don't know if there's like a back door or an underground bunker or anything.
And we don't know what our backup is capable of.
Yeah,
There's not blueprints that are going to be for a private, rich individual's
right.
museum.
Not easily found.
Yeah, you'd have to like find the actual
Oh.
contractors themselves and see if they actually kept records or not.
But that guy probably does have like security cameras that could maybe be hacked.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. Just do some social media stalking. People get invited to this thing. I'm gonna browse their profiles and see if
Nice.
We get any inside shots of the
Piece
the
together
space.
kind of a layout from.
Yeah, if they allow photography inside, that's a possibility.
photography. Here's time to
Otherwise, you know.
Yeah.
Depending on that, and if I'm able to find the pictures, if they exist.
Okay. Yeah, as you go to research that, Keegan, what are you doing? Or is anybody else doing anything? Or just watching for Google things?
I mean, yeah. While Fours is looking around, I'll do a walk at the perimeter.
I'll contact Frost and see if he can get me in touch with anybody who knows anything about Dalam Crow up in Farthen.
Reaching out to Frost Proxy. We used to have an inside contact, but they passed away sadly. What would I say, about 5 or 6 months ago, maybe a little bit longer. Filian Crow.
Billion Crow was your was it inside guy?
Yeah, one of the Crow kids.
What happened? Is he all right? Or he's not all right, obviously, but. Cut that out. That was a fumble.
A little bit of autopilot.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Casual android concern.
Is he okay? He's
Sorry,
dead.
my jaw chip kicked in. I just kind of.
Yeah, Frost would say, if I understand Filian, she was found dead of natural causes. She used to be primed next in line to take over for Vencilian.
For Vencilian?
Mm-hmm. She was his protege.
How trustworthy do you think the idea that she died naturally is?
You ask around, people die in accidents all the time. But a lot of Crow kids seem to have had a lot of accidents, so she was just the first.
How many Crow kids are there?
There was one, Filian, and then he has 7 adopted children.
Vancian has 7 adopted children?
Mhm.
Any information on those?
Frost would be like, you probably just pick up a magazine or something.
I'll do that. Yeah, I won't bother you with it. I
Say,
appreciate
yeah, he'll make mention real quick of keep an ear out for anything about Decale. She's been reaching out to the Caputo, try and fight against Amon. Looks like that wine basket has kicked up quite a nest. From what we hear from some of our members, the syndicate's moving in agents.
This might be me and Mab not knowing this. What's the syndicate? That's the Caputo Syndicate. Okay, sorry. I had to think it out loud.
Yeah, I can't
We know
even
them.
pronounce the name of it.
Yeah.
Something physically blocks my ability to say that word.
I believe it's a
Your-
Pokemon too.
Your vowels are on permanent shuffle.
Yeah, I just haven't figured it out yet.
But yeah, with a request of the kids, wouldn't be hard for Forrest to pull them up really fast. There's Rogelio, Quillane, Bianca. She died in a boating accident. There's Celista Crow and her husband Dave. There's Desmond
I
Crow.
love it.
Tell me it's spelled with like a apostrophe after the D or something.
The apostrophe D-E.
No, it's just Dave.
Husband Dave.
Desmond Crow would pull up a few articles as they were in a let's see here.
Gelio, Quillian, Bianca, Celestia, Desmond. There's 2 more.
Yeah, there was the Bullet race over by Summit's Nest that Desmond Crow was a part of. There'd be a couple pictures of that. There was Filian Crow, the first child that died of natural causes. There was Toger Crow from car accident, and 7 Dalam from a dueling accident.
Oh, he passed away too.
What was the
7
accident? The dueling accident. I mean,
That was the encounter with Okani clash at the Estelle Del Rose party you guys were at?
This was a drunken duel after the party.
Correct.
Very good.
So he's also dead then.
Correct.
And so currently the red bandana crew is kind of listless up in Farthen right now because Billion tragic passing.
Yeah, their inside contact is no longer available. They still have people there that they can kind of reach out to, but that used to be their main source of information considering it was so close.
Okay.
And I put in all their names in the side thing.
Yay.
I was pretty close on some of those. Bianca with a K though. Fuck you. You did that on purpose.
Does.
I'll ask him about. He's not really from this area, is there? Because we brought him in from outside.
Frost?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's normally part of the team that deals with Umbaro Pharmaceuticals.
I'll ask him to ask around, basically, like keep an eye out. Like he said, keep an eye out with the Kale. I'll ask him to keep an eye out about any information we have against the Arferi dueling swords. I know we know where they're at and stuff, but just if he has any other rumors or anything else that might help us. I mean, if it leads to the dead end or he has nothing, that's. But just if he thinks if he hears anything, give us a call.
Yeah, he'll take a look.
And also if he needs anything from me, there's anything I can do. I have been feeding people over at the mansion, and we're going to try to set that up as a more permanent public space as soon as we get some people out.
If you are going to Farthen, plant some bugs, get us some info.
Definitely. Yeah. If you have any supplies or you know someone up there I can get a hold of to get some of that stuff. Because Josh doesn't have a bug supplier. I'll reach out to our contact up there. There may be a coyote detective in the area that we can reach out to. Awesome. You find out, send me their deets.
Will do. Keegan, you do your rounds. I mean,
Yep.
Word has passed along that you're working with the king, so they're not going to be doing anything directly to mess with you guys, you know?
Okay.
But there's still, of course, definitely people out there who are wondering when the next round of lunches is coming.
I'll look at my watch. Soon.
Where'd the fuck Dosh go?
Hopefully you bring back groceries on your way.
No, I'm feeling pretty useless right now. I'll take up the mantle of cook on this one. There's still food in the facilities.
Oh god, you're gonna make everything taste like burnt coffee.
What do normal people like?
Just prestidigitate it to make it taste good. Yeah. What is this? I don't know, but it's tasty.
Chicken a la mode.
Yeah, inside forwards, I'm not sure what else you're looking at. Jasper is taking pictures of the living steel tablet, trying to show off to Oswald of like, you can take a knife and split the block into just 2 even halves, and it will show information. Or you can take a knife and kind of cut it into thinner pieces, and it makes smaller pages with more information. You can fold it in half into a block, and then that only has that'll have some information, and just explain that, yeah, it's so cool. Like this old Arferi martial art training manual is kind of like those old flower origami things you do at school, as they kind of fold the silver box over itself a couple times, then open it.
And depending on how you fold it, it's different diagrams of how to do the different combat maneuvers.
Yes.
Awesome. I will totally spend time with Jasper looking at that.
But yeah, so ask you guys if this is okay, if this is the thing she keeps.
Am I the only one around to be asked?
You and
Sounds
Forrest.
like
it. Sure.
Yeah, I don't care.
Dope. She will then very excitedly keep playing with it and keep unfolding to see all the combinations she can do, but she seems pretty excited about this.
Yeah, no, it's very cool. Are you going to start practicing that stuff, Jasper?
She looks at you, she looks at it, and I mean, I don't know why I would, but I guess it'd be kind of cool to, that's some bragging rights, right? Mm-hmm. To know that you know an ancient Arferi martial art. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's also kind of like, having your adventurers pack, like being prepared. Like, you also want to be able to defend yourself against, I don't know, crazy assholes with shotguns.
She'll, shake her head kind of silly Oswald. The ancient Arferi training manuals never had guns, so there's no shotgun defense training in here. That'd be silly.
Oh, bow and arrow?
Yeah, she'll fold around for a bit. Oh yeah, it does teach you how to block arrows.
Okay, I mean, same idea, right? Just faster?
We're gonna get this poor kid shot.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep her from being shot. I assume she's gonna find herself in trouble at some point again in the future.
And fucking go into a Zen mode to try to block the bullet and then just take one to the face.
Yeah. I learned this in an old manual for catching arrows once. I'm pretty sure it'll work with these.
With this shotgun.
I mean, that's why you practice and not just read it from a book. Or an origami cube or whatever the hell this thing is.
She'll say it's neat, but I don't even know anybody with a bow.
She wants to learn how to block bullets like a trainer. I want to look to see if I can find a description or a picture of these swords so I know what we're actually looking for when we go into this place.
In case this dude has 20 swords.
Yeah, he's like, I'm a sword collector. I'm like, fuck. Take all of them.
I collect replicas of the same sword. And I finally got the original.
This is the second edition Arferi family sword.
Do I know what gangs the Kabuto are reaching out to? would they be a local? They'd be Arferi gangs, or are they greater Dust Banter area?
We might need to call store about that.
Oh, I was gonna take it a different direction. I
Oh,
was gonna call Urani and tell her that if she hears anything from the Kabuto Syndicate to just like not go along with it, because we don't want the Moonrats like caught up in some kind of proxy war against Amon.
well, they're not up in this district.
I mean, if they're at war with Amon, I imagine they are trying to grab anybody they can or feet on the ground.
True. And they don't like them on, so.
Yeah, so they might be inclined, the Moonrats. Is that what you guys are talking about?
Yeah.
So our attempt to. Oh, man.
I know it sounds awesome, but don't work with these guys.
I'm gonna message my dad.
I'm gonna send out a warning to Urani that Kuboto Syndicate is gonna go to war with Amon, and that the Moonrats should. My advice is stay out of it. But they're also hiring up other gang help, so maybe there's an opportunity in there somewhere for the Moonrats.
Yeah, but if they're going to war with Amon, it means they didn't like the deal of getting their people back.
Yeah, which means your dad's still in danger.
If he's.
You're able to call Arani and let her know. Thank you for the information, but we'll also kind of come across like, I think we're a little too small for the Kabuto Syndicate to care about.
I don't know. I mean, if you were gonna fight Amon, you'd want to get like everybody you could on your side, right?
Who the fuck would fight Amon?
The Kabuto Syndicate, apparently.
I mean, yeah, she'll be able to like, Amon is everybody? Like, I mean...
Yeah, I know. I mean, I also don't know how above board the Kabuto are going to be about it. Like, they might like say one thing but mean another. You know, they might say they're going to go to war and not really say who they're going to war against, something like that. So I don't know. Or they might try and position it as like some kind of just general territory-based power play. Or
Thanks for the heads up, Oswald. I will burn that bridge when we cross it.
Does everybody say that? Lucia says that all the goddamn time.
I would also like to shoot a text to Gore to ask him to look into this 15 Bloom 4020X character that is haunting secretive forums, and see if he can find out more about who that person might be in real life.
Gore would send a pizza slice, thumbs up, and a coffee cup.
Right on. I will send him back an emoji of a sneaker and a heart.
I will kick you in the heart.
Oh shit, is that what that means?
I never learned to speak emoji, so.
Forwards, if you're taking your time kind of trying to find information about this, there is some social media aspects that you can pull up. Go ahead and give me your check.
Incoming. Please stand by.
The nozzle is calibrating.
22.
With the 22 fours looking around, yes, it is encouraged to some extent for selfies and other photos. No direct photos of the relics that Vencilian has acquired. There's a media awareness of the idea of posting famous people with things you'd like to see behind them. So it brings that attention to both what you can't have as a common person, but makes it very aware that fancy people have access to this.
I find some rich person nightstand photos.
This is where you would see photos of people like Levis Lyra or Connie Clash, those higher end kind of socialites. But looks like this private museum is on his own property. You can definitely see that there are cameras, there are gates. From at least a couple other pictures, it looks like there's a overwhelmingly large patio that overlooks the valley that you can see both kind of like winter, kind of snow-covered trees as well as bright green spring trees. You'll see a main tower in the distant background with kind of almost looks like a photograph kind of shadow effect to it. It looks like there's another tower that looks different behind it.
Is that a known thing that, it shows up in photographs and stuff? Is that like a wonder of the world?
Yeah, you grew up in Anise. You've heard the rumors of Farthen that the closer you get to the center of the valley, the more kind of odd things happen. Farthen likes to advertise it as kind of like time glitches, that they have a rotating season all day long.
All right.
And the summer festival is when basically multiple parts of the valley all become summer at the same time.
Kind of syncs up.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a predictable pattern then to those time events?
There is not.
So when people see that summer is starting to sync up in multiple patches, they just have to scramble the summer festival together.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
They're like storm chasers, but for summer.
Yeah, there's a bit of that, and that's why Vancilion's birthday party also went with this. Like, he had to take advantage of the fact that a summer festival was happening when his birthday occurred.
Like the reverse of having the snow plows in the garage all year long waiting for the snow.
Yeah, so that's kind of what you find from that. Able to get kind of an idea of where it's located in the valley and where you'd be going to. But if you're talking about social media, you would find a picture of Desmond Crow with Matilda. Looks like they're sharing noodles at one of the high-end restaurants in downtown Dusk Banter.
All right. Is Lucius still around?
Cooking.
Yeah. I guess I'll just call from the couch. Is Matilda buddies with the crows?
Oh, what do you mean?
And I'll send you over that, or I'll forward
hold
that
on
picture.
a second. Count the keyboard. I've been cooking, and what's that? And I will create a unseen servant to kind of take over what I'm doing and walk over to Forrest.
Oh my god, that's how Lucius dies. He gets murdered by his own unseen servant.
So wake up to 7 of them.
Just tired of your shit. Yeah, I'll just hand my phone. I got the picture up to you. Looks like Matilda's got an in. We might have to not be all sneak.
You would fucking love that.
Maybe Matilda can be our the word I'm looking for our abjuration company. Like, she could suggest us.
Yeah, or if she just wants this mission to go through, she can just sort it out for us and send us. But
Send us the swords. We can do this in the most boring way possible. Just ask him for the swords and then have him give us the swords.
Sorry. I guess I thought that there would be, or that there's an event that's going on that maybe she could just get us into.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have to pretend to be anybody weird. She would just get us in.
Josh should be horribly disappointed if that's where you want to go with this. Who's totally sold on the abjuration company.
I was promised there'd be deceit.
Maybe that's a way in, and I'll pass you that back. Let's think on this a second, and I'll go back to the kitchen and create a couple more unseen servants to do my work for me while I ponder.
You're like, I remembered I could do this. I don't have to work now.
While you ponder, Oswald, you had turned on the TV earlier, and so you would see just a couple late-night news kind of things would come across. One mentioning that the air behemoth has been downed by militaristic neo-mercenaries north of Mercadine, allowing all of us to breathe safely as Mon Air is planning on resuming standard air travel operations.
Okay. Neat. I'm happy for that, I guess. And Mon Air also just settled that trade dispute earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 pieces of good news for Mon Air in a row.
That's who your dad works for, right?
My dad works for, I guess these days, yeah, because he did work for Mercadine.
As well as there would be, speaking of Mercadine, there is a story that you kind of cut into a bit as they're talking about a Mercadine ship found empty of all crew in the Slitty Bay. Pictures behind the reporter, you can see that there is blood on the ship. No bodies have been found, they report, and they have only a partial video of a security camera before it was taken out. They are asking for, of course, anyone in the Slitty area who saw what happened or could help report, or even confirm who should have been on the ship, to please reach out to the following number. They'll play across the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
Was that ship my ship?
It was not.
Okay. Not my ship, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, as a player, that's the only ship I'm tracking on.
Yeah, the Basia ship. Salam Lore is what it was called.
And for this evening as well, the last thing you can see is it looks like Sarum Saw and Osric are going to have a special guest on for tomorrow's Snow Days, which is somebody that they believe represents the spirit of Dusk Banter, Arturo Graves.
That Kamale Arturo?
See a clean-cut looking gentleman with a nice beard, pinstripe suit.
Huh. Okay, good. Well, no, the last time we saw Arturo, he was he handed a wine bottle to somebody and shot him in the face. So
Technically legal.
I mean, legal enough that he's not in prison.
Maybe he has an empire now, and he's moving up in the world. We haven't been to his stand in a while.
Yeah, I guess not. Huh. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not sure I have any feels about that. It's more just like, that's a weird way the world is evolving. Yeah. Okay. Stealing 2 swords from this collector. They're in his private collection. He doesn't let anybody in unless they've got an invite or unless they're family. One of his family members is part of Matilda's crew.
I don't know if they're part of a crew. I think they just had lunch together. They just know each other.
With everyone back at the home, you get that knock at the door.
The name's Desmond Crow. Matilda sent us. Said you needed some help.
Thanks for listening. Like, rate, review, subscribe. You know the stuff. Our intro and outro are from Nihilor. You heard 10,000 people screaming, "I'm an individual." You also heard Set Fire to Creation. Sound effects by Pixabay. Have a great rest of the year. Bye, 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 bye.